I'm turning 21 on April 23rd. I was thinking about everything that I've learned throughout these years, but I still don't know many things. So I instead decided to talk about the mistakes that I made in the past 20 years. And these are the mistakes that I made, so you don't have to make them. The mistakes are not in any order. I'm just talking about whatever came to my mind and the mistakes that I've learned something from. You might not know me, but this YouTube channel is my fifth YouTube channel, I guess. I deleted so many YouTube channels that I can't even count how many times I deleted it. But my biggest mistake, in my own opinion, was deleting my first YouTube channel. I had it for over 3 years. I started it when I was 16, I guess, and I was growing in it very well, but it was in Persian and I wanted to start an English YouTube channel. So what I did was not to keep that channel and make another channel. I decided to delete that fully. It was a mistake, but I think that it was a mistake that I had to make in order to learn and grow. But what I learned from it is that don't cut off something and start over again and again, because the starting over takes you much more time and effort than continuing it even slowly. My second mistake was also about around that time. I'm writing a dark romance series and I'm trying to make it publishable, but at that time when I first started writing it, it was the time that I just got to know AI. And at that time I used to talk to Gemini and I didn't know how it works and didn't know anything about publishing. So I shared the whole idea of my book with AI and I told it all of my plot and everything. Then I realized that it makes problems with copyright and also it is not original work. So I had to change my whole plot, and the third draft of my book is totally different from the first draft, and even the fourth draft is different from the third draft. But what I learned was not to overshare with AI, which is so important, especially now with AI existence. You can talk to it, but don't overshare. But PS, I should tell you that it turned out very well for me, and the newest story of my book is much better than the first story. The first was horrible. I don't want to even share it, but anyway. The third mistake was hurting my back to lose weight. When I was 17 something, I really wanted to work out, get fit and lose weight and everything, and it was in the pandemic. So we used to work out and exercise at home, and I used to think that I should go hard and intense in order to be healthy. So I exercised wrongly and I hurt my back very bad. Anyway, I had to go to physiotherapy a lot of time and I had to rest at home. And after that, I learned not to do intense exercises if I was not sure about how to do it, or at least ask from a professional before doing that exercise. My fourth mistake was something from recently that is still affecting my life, which was not packing enough when I wanted to move to Thailand. So it got very rushed when I wanted to move to Thailand and everything. I put the link of the vlogs I made from that time for you. But because it was so rushed and I wasn't sure about staying in Thailand, I didn't pack enough. I didn't take a lot of my clothes and a lot of things that I needed. And when I came here, I had to go and buy many stuff that I already had. And some of them are irreplaceable. So yeah, I'm still struggling with it. So when you want to move somewhere or anything, don't forget to pack enough. Being prepared is never bad, so don't make my mistake. Number 5 is also about recently. For 2 years, I trusted a study agency. I thought that they're professionals and they know what to do when I wanted to move abroad. And for 2 years, they wasted my time. And at the end, I had to come here to Thailand by myself and do everything by myself. And at the end, they were like, yeah, we're happy that you did it. It was so ridiculous. So don't trust quickly and always go after your work and make sure that the person in charge of your work is doing their job. And if they're not, do something about it, Mistake number 6 is that back in the high school and in the whole 12 years of studying, I cared way too much about grades and if I was getting A rather than putting my time on learning skills. But don't get me wrong, I wasn't like a best student who would study 24/7. No, I actually spent a lot of time on writing, on making content and stuff like that. But if I would go back in time, I would spend even more time on skills and on learning rather than just getting grades. Number 7 was also about recently. Last year, when I knew that I'm about to move abroad, I was feeling a little lonely, so I got a pet. I got a bunny, and I did it very irrationally. I really liked that bunny, but I had to give it up very early. After only 3 weeks, I gave him up because I was so busy at the time. I was busy with writing, making content, and trying to move abroad and everything. Sometimes it is wise not to make decision based on what you're feeling at that moment. It is one of the most difficult things to do, but I made a lot of mistakes like that, so I'm trying to learn and maybe I get better at it. I don't know. Number 8 is also kind of like this, quitting too early. Many times I have started something, I didn't see the result, and I thought that maybe I'm wasting time and I quit. There are many examples. Some of them are about my channels that I deleted many channels. Some others are about the classes that I used to go. If something is so important for you, try not to quit when you don't see the result right away. I'm trying myself not to do that again, but it is still a little difficult, so I try my best. Number 9 is not having backup for my files. It has happened to me many times, and I always have problem with my memory cards and I run out of memories. One of the things that I really regret is not having backup for a few files, a few drafts of my old books, and I lost them. So now every time that I write, I always take backups from them. I save them in many different devices. I try to keep them in Google Docs because it is safer and you can recover it better. But again, I keep them in PDF forms in different devices because you never know what happens to your device and to your file. Number 10 is a very old mistake that I made. I was, I guess, 10 when I made this mistake. I always had short hair, and at that time my hair was growing longer. It was a normal day. I was watching my old photos and I saw myself with short hair, and I was like, yeah, it would be very good if I had short hair again. But instead of asking my mom to cut my hair, I tied my hair and I took the paper cutting scissor to the bathroom and I cut my hair by myself. It was hilarious. My hair was messed up, and when my mom saw my hair, she spent hours on fixing it. But it was so hilarious, yeah. And it taught me never cut your own hair with paper cutting scissor. Number 11 is I returned to a friend after breaking up with her. I had a friend and she's a very nice person, but I broke up with her in high school. 2 years after that, I tried my best to get back with her and we became friends again. But again, I ended up breaking up with her because even though she was a nice person and we had a lot of fun together, but our values weren't really matched and we weren't really good friends together, you know? So I learned that I break up with someone for some reason, and returning to the same person is not always a good idea. And maybe sometimes I should trust my older self judgment, because sometimes we just forget about some things and we romanticize only the good parts. Number 12 is my mistake at the last year of high school. At 12th grade, I didn't have any goals or the vision of what I want to do with my future after graduation, so I decided to do what is normal and I studied for university entrance exam for a whole year. But at the end, I changed my mind and I realized that I never wanted to go to the university in Iran, and I never used the result of that university entrance exam. So if I would go back in time, I would spend that year to prepare myself and move abroad earlier and sooner, you know. Number 13 is about very recently. After I came to Thailand and I started living independently, I used to go shopping by myself and everything. And one day I went shopping and I shopped a lot with backpack. It was so heavy that the day after that I hurt my back again. My old injury showed itself and it hurt my back so much that it's recently just being better after 7 months. So if you're living independently, don't forget to take care of your health and don't hurt yourself by carrying heavy bags. Number 14 is something that I'm really working on, postponing recording many times because I didn't feel perfect. The situation wasn't perfect. But right now, for example, I'm recording this while at 10 minutes I should attend an important meeting, but I decided to record this video and don't postpone it. Number 15 is that when I was in high school, I wanted to start an online shop for making candles and selling candles. I got the equipment and everything. I even made the page, but I was like, I should have more audience. I should have more equipment. I made a lot of excuses for myself and I never started that online shop. And I'm thinking that it was a good opportunity that I lost. And because of that, now whenever I think about something, I immediately start, or at least I do something about it and plan for starting it. Like for my Imagine series, which you can already watch on YouTube. When the idea came to my mind, I was making the Crowned in the Dark series and I didn't have the time. But I made some scenarios and then now I'm making it. So sometimes postponing ends up you not doing it at all. Number 16 is a big trap. Planning way more than executing. Planning sounds very productive. Even now, whenever I don't want to do something, I plan and I feel so productive. But this is a mistake. You cannot get the result by the best plan on the paper. You get the result by executing those plans, even messily. Number 17 is oversharing my dreams, especially before you make it happen. When I wanted to move abroad, I didn't say anything to anyone, and I think that it really helped a lot. I still sometimes overshare my dreams, but I try not to. At least not with people who I know that their first reaction would be mockery. Number 18 is burning myself out instead of having a sustainable, consistent plan. I used to think that I should go all in and do everything in a short amount of time and then take a rest, which is so wrong. And I recently realized that instead of going all in a short amount of time, I should have a better system that lets me do everything by the plan, be consistent every day instead of burning myself out in a period of time and then not being able to do anything. Number 19 is I used to care too much about what people might say, and I think that it happens to many of us. This is a mistake that I'm trying to work on it and do what matters instead of being afraid of what might people say. I know it is still difficult, but yeah. And the last mistake I made is an old one. I destroyed many of the first drafts of my books at a school because of what teachers would say, what my classmates would say, and because I would think that writing is a waste of time and I'm doing something bad by writing. But now I don't destroy any drafts of my books, even the messy ones, because I know that they are the proof of who I am and what I do. Yeah, these are some of the mistakes that I made in 20 years. I definitely made a lot more mistakes, but these are a few of them that I wanted to share with you so you don't make them, or at least like me, try not to. And hopefully I will make better mistakes by 30. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in the next one. Bye!